All right, and we are live, man. Back at it again. What's going on, YouTube? Up here chilling, and person on my what is this? My right or my left? Whatever the hell it is, man. He's no stranger to the channel. Uh, got him on. He's gonna tell a story how he escaped or how he left the corporation known as the Watchtower. So what's going on, Mark? Marvin, what's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing too much, man. Just just living the dream, living the life, man. What I'm saying. That's just
Mm.
all that's going on, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you gotta do. You gotta stay alive in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, people ready to go to war, man. If this guy loses this election, man, they ready to just bop people
Oh
off,
yeah,
man.
it's
So we
on the
gotta be
election.
prepared, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, we not.
most definitely, and it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you gotta be safe out here, man. It's like it's getting dangerous out here, man. So yeah, you gotta be safe, man.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, most
So
definitely.
yeah, so we gonna just go into your story, man. I never really heard your story, so it'd be interesting to hear it. So
Hmm.
let's start from the top, man. Go back to, I mean, you can start when you was in the room, man. You know what I'm saying? You heard your parents singing Kingdom Melodies. You know what I'm saying? You was in the stomach. You heard the Kingdom Melodies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Heard the inner prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Go and tell us your upbringing in the Jehovah Witness, the Watchtower Corporation, man. Tell us how that was.
Okay, well, before I begin, I will say this. Thank you for allowing me to come on your channel, your platform, and uh, divulge my story and do my autobiography, or so to say, or my biopic. Not really
Yeah,
biopic, but
exactly.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
for me
yeah,
to
yeah,
paint a
exactly.
visual picture of my story, in other words, because this is the first time
Hmm.
I've ever done this. I've done it on my
Yeah,
channel from time to time, but it's kind of tough when you don't have nobody that's there that actually is able to ask you questions so that you can help
yeah.
recall those memories. Because sometimes when I would do my story, I'm like, dang, I should have said this, or I should have said that, or why
Hmm.
didn't I say this? But yet and still, when I get
Yeah,
on the phone with people or I'm
yeah,
talking to somebody else, then it all comes out. But
yeah, exactly.
to talk about, I'm going to start with my background. I always a part of my I'm gonna say my spiritual system, so to say, because I have my own. I know she put comedic spirituality in there. I'm not fully comedic, so
oh,
yeah, I'm
you,
not
oh,
fully
you,
comedic.
oh, you,
Yeah,
you haven't graduated yet.
no,
you
I
haven't got,
have.
you haven't got your unk yet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, well, no, yeah, that's true. I don't have one that's like actually me. I do have unks, but they're not really like
Mhm.
so made. But
Yeah.
well, I'll get into a little bit of that later. But
Uh,
to start off, I will honor my ancestors. That's part of um, my own spiritual beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Honor those that
mhm,
came before you. So I'm going to start with. It started with my grandpa. My
mhm.
grandpa on my mom's side, and
Okay.
so this is back in the 40s or 50s, one somewhere around that time. And so what happened was that some witnesses came to the door, and so they were studying with my grandmother. Now, mind you, my grandparents were Baptists.
Okay.
They were, the old time Baptists and everything like
Mhm.
that. And so then what happened was, my grandfather, he heard them talking and everything like that, and he liked what he heard them say. And also too, my grandfather was a singer in the church and everything. But
Mhm.
he just liked what the witnesses had to offer. And it
Yeah.
was something that was now, I think it was something that was different at the time, something that was abstract from what people were normally doing. Because you got to think, black people have been involved in the church during that time for some time. But then
Mhm.
here it is, you get something that's different. And you
Yeah.
have other things that's going on in their lifetime. During that time, you had racism and everything like that. And you hear about, oh, soon all these things are going to be made better. You get some type of they call it hope, what I'm saying,
Mhm.
or some type of message that you get from it. So also he gets, he likes what they're saying and everything like that. And so then that's when and there's more to the story, but I'm just trying to breeze through it. But yeah, he liked what they said, and that's when they end up getting involved with the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. So then
Mm.
they ended up having 16 children.
Okay.
They ended up having 16 children, and my mom's number five. So then that's when my mom was born like in 1954, and so then
Okay.
that's when she was raised from MC. Now my dad, I don't really know. I can't really remember when my other grandmother, when she got involved with the organization. I just know that at some point in her life she did, and so that's when my dad, he was raised, well, not raised for MC, but she became a witness. Of course, he was introduced to that, and so
Hmm.
then they got married in '74, and they waited some time before they had kids, and they start having kids, and um, have a older brother. Second, I have another brother, and then I have a sister, and then there comes me. I'm the baby of the family.
Okay.
So how did I get into involved with the witnesses and everything like that? Now, go
Hold for a
ahead.
minute. So, okay, you say you have 16 uncles and aunties, well, 15 uncles and aunties.
Yeah, that's
Are
it.
all of them,
On my mom's
all
side.
of them witness, all of them witnesses?
No, that is
Oh,
there's
okay.
a big it's a big thing in my family. My family on my mom's side is just split right down the middle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just split. There is like a little ceasefire right now, because everybody's trying to understand each other, but still, all in all, it's still like a wedge that's still there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm just trying to see if you have refuge, or all your whole family is like you have nobody to go to right now.
Well,
All
you
right.
see,
So yeah.
the thing about it is this, and we can still touch on this part. Um, During that time of me being in the organization, I didn't have no relationship with
Hmm.
them, with the one, because some of them, by the time I was born in '89, a lot of them, some of them were disfellowship. So
Mm.
it's like I didn't spend time with them
Uh huh.
growing up,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. All righty. So yeah, I just wanted to see. I wanted to
Yeah,
see the background now. Okay. So you got something that's not there. Okay. So yeah. Go. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
how'd
So
you
go ahead.
Okay. So your mom was a witness before you were born. Your mom and your dad was a witness before you were born.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Go. I guess you can go into more of did they teach you from infancy? Because I know that's one of the big things in Joe. See, I'm not born in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not born in. I didn't come into. I
Hmm.
was like teenager, 18, 19. But did they teach you from infancy as far as
Yes,
the witnessing? Okay.
yeah, yes. The earliest, I still remember my first comment at the Kingdom Hall. Believe it or not, I
What's going
still
on,
have
Heather Rant?
that image that's still in my head. And the comment was, "Love is not jealous." I just remember my earliest memories of being in the organization was, that was the start. That's my earliest memory. I think I was like 5 years old, and I
Hmm.
just remember it was just such a big thing to my mom. Like, she was saying, "Just raise your hand up high, high as you can. Raise your hand as high as you can." And so then she said, "Say love is not jealous." And then I said, "Love is not jealous." And then I just remember everybody's like, that thing everybody does, oh, like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cute. Look at him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then that's my earliest memory. But it was growing up for me. I was the child that was always goody two shoes, so to say. I always wanted to make my parents happy.
Uh huh.
I did not want to disrespect my mother and father in any kind of way. I did
Hmm.
everything that they asked me to. I was always the one that they said that I was going to be the future circuit overseer.
Oh,
That's what they
oh,
said.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, growing up, I really was engrossed into Watchtower. Like, I always, as I'm growing up, I always sat on the front row. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I always made sure I try to comment, make sure my lessons were underlined and everything like that. Um, as I started growing up, though, going through the organization, I started getting some privileges. They put me on the sound, and I was an unbaptized publisher. And they put me on the sound and everything like that. I think at my first time being on the sound, I think I was like 13 years old.
13,
Yeah,
man. You had that.
yeah.
Had privilege at 13,
Yeah, yeah. Believe
man.
it or not, they
Yeah.
put me on sound. They weren't supposed to, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but they, but they did though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, like, when like training and things like that. So, like, how was your like? You guys had family study like when you growing up and stuff like that.
Believe it or not, now I kind of skipped off, and I need to go back because I hate when that happens. As you ask me, quite a things start, my gears start turning, everything like that. We did not really do family studies, believe it or
Oh.
not. Like we did not have a fam. We did it from time to time, sparingly, but we did not do it like, okay, this day or this set day is for our family study. Now this is
Mhm.
good, Jumanji, because you get to see how different families in the organization. Everybody is different. Every
Mhm.
parent does not follow that same model. Um,
Yeah.
my dad, he was a real estate agent. Believe it or not, he got into real estate, and so a lot of times, he wasn't really home that much. And one of
Mhm.
the biggest things that my dad always struggled with was being wanting to be used in the congregation. Wanting the brothers to use him, but he never could understand why. Even to this day, I know why, but he don't understand why. And the
Mhm.
problem was this, okay, given that my dad's a real estate agent, he was not home a lot of times. He was not able to make the meetings a lot of times. He was
Yeah.
not able to go out and service as much. So it's like in my family, my mother was the one that kind of took the lead spiritually, so to say. And I hate to use those
Yeah.
terminologies because it's really nasty stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
when you really
Well, I
get
mean,
into, yeah.
it's just, yeah. I mean, you might not, but it's just, in case witnesses watching it, they might understand, But it's like, we
Yeah.
understand, what you mean. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay
Yeah,
then.
we understand what you mean.
It's just
Yeah.
sometimes, man, when you get to really starting to understand
Yeah.
religion,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
dang, like that stuff is like really messed up at what they
Yeah.
say.
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
know some. I know some extra winners. They get triggered when you call it the truth. But I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, we don't really believe it. It's just a
Yeah,
name.
we
You know what I'm
know. So
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's,
we know. We know.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
just using the language to,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you have to so people know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah,
Exactly.
so it was my mother that was the one that was really pushing us and getting us out in service on Saturdays, and
Yeah.
cuz growing up, me and my mom, we were the ones that would go out in service every Saturday. My mom always called me her field service buddy. Now my brother and sister, they rebelled. They fought. They really
Uh-huh.
my brother, he kind of sits on the fence. My sister, and it's kind of funny, me and my sister, out of all my siblings, me and my sister are the closest. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it's like with her, she always noticed a problem. And I mean, I want to do a video with her sometime. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because her story is crazy. I could never understand why my sister was so like against against the organization. She always wasn't comfortable. She didn't like going out service. But the
Mhm.
thing that got her, she really woke. She told me this over the phone. She said she woke up before any of us. Before, well, not us. My brother's still on the fence, but before she woke up before me, so to say. And I couldn't understand why she was always rebelling. But she told me, and I'm sitting here giving a little bit of her story. It's supposed to be all about my story, but still, we share it. But
Mhm.
she was saying one day they was at the bookstore, and so she saw a Bible, and so she said she picked the Bible up, opened it up, and then my dad saw her reading that Bible, and he took
Mhm.
it from her, and so then she said right then and there, she was 8 years old. She told me, said right then and there, that's when I knew there was a problem. And that's how
Mhm.
smart, that's how sharp she was. And so
Yeah.
they're all growing up, I could never understand. There was the times, man, like, I would be telling, say, yo, like Nita, you gotta just read the just you didn't study your lesson. I'll be sitting there snitching on her and stuff. Mom,
Uh-huh.
Nita didn't underline her lesson. Mom, Nita, just sitting there snitching on her and stuff like that. And then
Mhm.
like I
Shame
was
on
the
you.
yeah, I know, right? I know, right? And I was a child that sit up there and just was, had that quote unquote that zeal. You know what I'm saying? All
Mhm.
my uncles that were Jada, they said he is the model person. You know what I'm saying? He's the model Jehovah. That he's gonna be
Uh-huh.
maybe going to Bethel one day and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Mm.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it reminded me of when I went to. I don't know if I said this before. I went to a book study one time. I forgot my New World Translation, and so I had like a NLT, a New Living Testament, New Living
Uh huh.
Translation. I went in there, and he wanted me to read from it. You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to read, but he didn't know it was another translation.
Mm.
So I'm trying to read, and then somebody heard and come bring me a New World Translation. And I'm like, okay, I thought when we go to doors and somebody say they don't have the Bible, you let them read out your own Bible. That's just talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just talk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. So Hellerant said the truth as a term is a big red flag for a cult. So I don't know why people sidestep it if they can educate. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, if you gotta protest something, or you gotta say something about yourself or anybody else, that's a red flag. That's something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Out,
Yeah.
you come out like you meet a woman, right? And the first
Hmm.
thing you say is, "I'm not a cheater. I have
Yeah.
never cheated in my life." I mean, did anybody ask you? You come out, you go to people's door. This is the truth. Who said you was a lie? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So anytime you gotta protest anything, yeah, that's a big red flag. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but that
Yeah.
just remind me of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so growing up, like you you really believed in the doctrine and stuff. You really believed in it, or was you just going along because people were praising you for your activity?
I'm gonna answer it like this. I believed in it because that's what was given to me,
Hmm.
and also too, it was mainly through my parents.
Yeah.
It was mainly I wanted to. I don't know why that was such a big thing. I always wanted my parents' approval,
Uh,
and I will say that that is one of my. And I don't want to. And I have to be careful when I say this. That was kind of like one of my biggest crutches. It's a plus, and
mm,
it's a positive and it's a negative.
yeah.
Because when they see a child that's obedient to their parents, that's what that's like the model child. Like
Yeah.
I didn't get beatings. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get
Mm,
popped, nothing of that. My dad used to talk to me, and he wouldn't talk to me mean. I used to cry, man. I was very sensitive. I did not want to make my parents upset. you know
mm-hmm.
so when it comes to believing in it, that was my worldview, yes, but
Yeah.
mostly it was through my parents and making them happy, because I saw how other people's children, they doing this, that, and the third, and the parents was like, one thing about JW is that when they have their child embraces the organization, it's like they are on a higher status. You know what I'm saying? It bumps them up in
Yeah.
that society.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Because you can't be example if you're not running your household. Basically that's what it
Right.
is. You can't. How you gonna run congregation? How you gonna lead the congregation? You can't lead your household. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. So you pretty much made, as you say, made the truth your own. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah. Yeah.
you made the truth your own. But was you like I'm trying to figure out how to ask this, because like me, when I was studying, I would always try to assure what I studying was right. So I would not always study the publications. I would go to encyclopedias and stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey, yeah, what's going on, Jay the comedian? He said he got his ass whooped. I think every I think every black child did. Yeah, but I would study different publications. You see what I'm saying? Because I was not born. I came out of a Catholic church and things like that. So I would always try to make sure what I was learning was the truth.
Right.
And one thing that really convinced me was when I read about the Christmas and things like that, and how Christians didn't celebrate birthdays during the first couple of centuries of Christianity. And so that kind of collaborated, like, wow, they telling the truth. But then I look up Jehovah and all these other names. You know what I'm saying? So I'm I'm just trying to ask, like, when you heard something from your parents, you took it point blank, or did you actually look up, like, did you try to reassure yourself that this was the truth?
No. It's like when you're growing up in the organization,
Mm,
you don't even think to do that, because automatically you see yourself getting all your spiritual information from this one particular source. Think about it. JW children are told not to that evolution is false.
mm-hmm.
JW children are told that that life is only on this planet. They're not
Yeah,
told. They're not. It's not really pushed for you to think
yeah.
about other planets. Now, I do remember, and I don't want. And sometimes I get like a traffic jam up in this brain of mine. But I do
Mm-hmm.
remember this one elder giving a talk at our meeting. He was talking about there was a book that Jehovah Witnesses threw out or something like that
Mm-hmm.
about Jehovah supposed to be populating other planets and everything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not really pushed, like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
I think I read one like that. Yeah, like think we gonna get our own planet or something like that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
some
I knew something like
abstract
that.
Mormon
Yeah,
ideology. But
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, but to answer your question, you know, no, like growing
Oh,
up, that is the
mm,
truth. Like that's it. You know, we
yeah,
didn't really look at any type of quote unquote secular information. You know, even though sometimes in the Watchtower they do cite some of those sources, but a lot of times those sources are they kind of take them out of context,
yeah, yeah.
so to
Yeah,
say.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. Yeah. So and a lot of times with me also, when I went door to door, I want to make sure that my arguments was sound. You know what I'm saying? I want to go
Mhm.
sound like no fool. So I want to always. I was kind of apologetic. I was apologist. So when I would study to defend. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know
Like
there's a
this guy.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I would have to find a reason why this has to be true. So I would, the typical conversation starters. You know what I'm saying? They bring the
Mhm.
conversation starters up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
would look up for the conversation starters, and then I would talk to some of my family and things like that, and I would take notes as to how would somebody rebuke this belief, and how can I use the Bible to do that. But you obviously didn't do that because I mean, as if you're growing up, you trust your parents to tell you the truth. You're not gonna
Yeah.
question them. You know what I'm
Yeah, and I
saying?
mean we had yeah, and I mean to cut you off, but we have you know, it's the publications, like I
Hmm.
mean, we had the reasoning book and stuff like that. So that was our answer automatically. That we read the reasoning book, goes to critical, and then we get that argument to refute that argument somebody else is making. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, this has to be true. We have all the answers. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
automatically, like growing up as a JW, like that's it. But it's a lot different now, I think, because
Mm.
cause I didn't have the internet
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
up.
Oh
Now
yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can have an 8 year old or 9 year old right now, and while the brother is sitting up there, giving out his spewing out his information, they're sitting there. They can be fact checked
Hmm.
if they got a brain. If
Yeah.
their brain's already cognitively developed, they can sit
Yeah.
up there and they can fact check everything
Hmm.
that elder is saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
different. It's different
Yeah.
now, but
We.
back then, and I didn't have that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And plus, I mean, if you live with your parents, they're not gonna have other outside sources. You know what I'm saying? Like we had different things. So yeah, I think that's a different dynamic for people who grew up and people were born in. You know what I'm saying? Especially go to different religions. Now, I would say like a lot of Baptists and things like that, Pentecostal. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, man. But I don't think they're as strict as to sticking straight to this. Like if the preacher says something, you don't have to stick straight to that or go straight that source. You go to different things. Whereas Jehovah's Witness, if you want to study, do research, you do research with what they write. You know what I'm saying? I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but the majority of books in your house was JW publications, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
library.
yeah.
That's one thing we did. Yeah, we had a huge my mom had a library. So I mean, if you in my house, like the whole entire area where the dining room is, it's like, and we have a huge bookshelf.
Mhm.
They don't even make like modular homes like how they made my parents' house. Like they have a huge bookshelf in there filled up
Mhm.
with yeah, a little bit of photo albums, but it's filled with 90% JW
Yeah,
paraphernalia.
JW books. Yeah. And if it is
No
on other stuff,
suspect
yeah. So yeah,
paraphernalia.
yeah. And so if they do say go ahead and research or look it up, you looking up the JW. You going? Cause I remember back in the day they didn't have JW org. They had like the
No,
it was another
those
it was a
CDs, those
yeah, but
the
no,
CD.
they had a website. It was kind of
Oh,
janky. It was a web.
see,
You
I didn't
remember
know that.
the website back in the day?
See, we didn't. As far as going on the internet and stuff like that, like we didn't. We just. I just never remember us really going on. Looking up Jehovah's Witnesses website because my mom told me that oh they have those Jehovah's Witnesses, but you have to be careful with them because a lot of
Yeah,
them are
yeah. You got to be
fake.
careful. Yeah,
That's what my
yeah,
mom
yeah,
was saying. So
yeah. You
she
got
was
to be
like she
careful.
told us not to even type that in. That's what she told
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Oh, yeah, 'cause I mean, yeah, I know the dish you talking about, and that was kind of generic. As I look back on it, like it was like a little point at it didn't cover the whole screen. Like you had to click on the doggone
Yeah.
image or something. But yeah, but I'm in the old school website. You know what I'm saying? That they had. It was like three of them. It was a Watchtower. Then it was they combined them basically all in there. So
Hmm.
let me see. I'm trying to get to the point of okay. So were you ever like a pioneer or anything?
No, I never did get to pioneer or nothing like that.
Or
I
you just
just
did
went
the
out.
mics?
Yeah, I just did a mics and a sound.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, that's the
Oh, okay.
furthest I ever got, and I did a couple of talk number fours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let me get back to my story. And everything like that. Um, I'm gonna start when I was like 12 years old, and in transition to middle school, because that point in my life is a that's when things started getting a little crazy, so to say. So like, you know how, as you're growing up, and as you're going through puberty and everything like that, your mind starts to just go out. You know what I'm saying? What I mean
Yeah,
is
yeah.
your mind, things that you did when you were a kid, so you want to do other things.
Yeah,
So
I know exactly what those things
yeah,
is when you
yeah.
reach puberty.
So like, and I mean, as a teenager, as a preteen, I was pretty good. I still
Mhm.
wanted to make my parents happy, and I didn't, really,
Mhm.
I like girls and everything like that, but it wasn't so extreme. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and
Mhm.
I just remember, just wanting to branch out to certain things and trying to fit
Yeah.
in. That was one of the things that I really struggled early on. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I was a fat kid. I will say I was a fat kid, and I didn't have that many friends. Kids used to pick on me, so I had that. I had that going on, and me being fat, and then I had me being a Jehovah's Witness and going to
Mhm.
school.
Oh,
That
damn.
is one of the things automatically a child is
Yeah.
like pressured and so
Mm.
much stress
Yeah.
because you don't want your peers knowing your religion. Some children can handle it, some
Mhm.
can't. I
Mm.
was one of the ones I couldn't handle it. I knew I couldn't. I did not
Yeah.
want them knowing that I was Joe Witt because you hear about people making jokes. I didn't
Yeah.
need this. I didn't need this. I'm already a little, depressed, and that's something that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Children and depression, what I'm saying, which they
Yeah.
probably do, but it's not really talked about that much. They know about they're against bullying, but as far as like kids being depressed, the people, one thing about watch, they don't really focus on that too much. It's most about
Yeah. Yeah.
adult depression, but they don't talk about children being depressed. And then all of a
Mm.
sudden, when a child, and we did a video on suicide and everything like
Mhm.
that, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like okay, I had this going on, early on. Then it was like when I became a preteen, my skin. You know what I'm saying? I started slimming down, but it's my skin. So automatically I'm having these issues, what I'm saying? My body's changing and stuff like that. And I'm still trying to keep this secret of me being a Jehovah's Witness from all my peers so I can try to fit in. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so when I became a preteen, I started exploring and everything like that. And so then that's when I took up basketball. Something about basketball just it just drove me in a little bit. So my dad, and let me go back a little bit. My dad is a big time basketball person. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing we know about a lot of brothers. They love playing basketball and everything like that. Even one time they even had a league that they had set up, but one of the circuit overseers came and put that in the garbage. So to say, they
That's
had
ridiculous.
yeah, they had jerseys, they had
Yeah.
everything, they had a league, but the problem was this: uh, brothers were not going out in service; they were practicing. They was having practice for the game. They were missing out field service. So and
Okay.
then go ahead.
Hold on for a minute. Okay, because that means that they can dictate when you go out in service. How they know they didn't go on service on Monday? It's
Exactly.
because you're not going out because nobody meet in your doggone field service group. That motherfucker probably sitting in his field service group. Nobody showed up. He mad. Oh, y'all out. Oh, okay. We gonna stop this. Y'all finna come to my field service group. You ever been in a field service group and it's empty? That's what the hell that was. I mean, how he know nobody going out on Monday? Was any of these pioneers?
It was a mixture of brothers. Some of them, some of them were, some of them weren't. It was a mixture of them. But I
Yeah.
think what happened was that one of the brothers was, I guess he was being like a secret agent. One of these, I guess it was circuit overseer or somebody. He didn't like what one of the brothers said. Now basketball is a competitive sport. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And I mean,
Every
you say
sport though,
things
really.
that you don't really mean. You'll talk junk to somebody, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
just to
yeah, yeah.
build yourself up.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
what one of the
Exactly.
brothers said was he was like, I think they were down by some points, and this is before like I was born. And I just remember the story that my dad told me to, and my mom told me the reason why they shut it down. And so it was stupid too. And I'm gonna tell you that when I finish this point. But but what happened was that one of the brothers said they were down by a lot of points, but they could still win the game. So what he
Mhm.
said was he said, you know what, I'm gonna go off. And this I'm paraphrasing that part, but this is what he said. I'd rather die to lose. And so they said that there was a circuit overseer sitting there, and he heard that, and so then that was one of the things that motivated them to go ahead
Oh.
and shut it down. Now this is why I say it's stupid. This is why I say it was dumb that they would do that. People love sports. Okay,
Mhm.
Watchtower could have generated some money, or they could have gotten more members by having a
Mhm.
certain league to bring
Yeah.
people in.
Mhm.
There's a reason, and I have to say this right now, and then I'm gonna go back to my story. But there's a reason why, you have Mormons. Mormons are rich. JWs are poor.
Mhm.
The people that run Jehovah, yeah, they're smart. They're the smartest dumb people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And they do a disservice to a lot of people. You have people that are very talented, people that can do a lot of things, but they keep them in this box. You know what I'm saying? They have the tools to bring these people up to, like, really help them out in life, but they refuse to do it. You know what I'm saying? They have the means to gather people together, but yet
Yeah,
still
yeah.
they bust them down and keep them in a box. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's why I always use the terminology of it's like, um, the genie in Aladdin. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? That they're so powerful, yet they put them in in the lamp. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
They put them in the
Yeah.
lamp and they just contain them. You
Yeah.
know, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But back to my story. So I just wanted you to paint a picture. Now my dad, he's a big basketball person and everything like that, and I took up basketball. I guess it was something in the genes, like, and then plus also too, when I got in middle school, that's the only thing we could do after lunch was either
Mhm.
talk, which I didn't have a friend, or play basketball. So that's when I took an
Mhm.
interest in basketball and everything like that.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
I tried out, and the reason why I'm talking about basketball is because this is something that played a big role in me coming out, um and also too dealing with regret and depression and everything like that, which um which allowed me to flee. But anyway, I went to one tryout when in middle school, and so then I went to one tryout, and I kind of lied to my mom. I told her
Mhm.
that, oh, it's a program they want to help kids exercise, so to say. And so then I went to one tryout, and then they told me to cause me, I catch on with things kind of quick. It wasn't
Mhm.
really all that good, but I'm just just learning and everything like that. Plus early on, before I really got serious about it, I would shoot around in the neighborhood and stuff like that when we used to live in the apartments before we moved out to the country and got a house and everything. But yeah, like, I just did one tryout, and then I was told to come back to the next tryout, but I didn't
Mhm.
go because it was on a meeting night,
Mhm.
and so then I didn't, and then I just remember this is in the seventh grade. I just remember something just dawned on me. When I passed seventh grade and I went to eighth grade, um, you know, I was still that summer, I just practiced real hard and everything, but something was just in my head, like, I love this game. This is why I love to do this. And so
Mhm.
then in the eighth grade, something just, I don't know what it was, but I just didn't want to try hard in school anymore. It was like I'm hearing all this stuff from the platform with them talking bad about education. Then I'm just thinking to myself, like, why? Like, why am I even trying to even go to school? Why am I even trying to do all my work and stuff? So that I had to repeat the eighth grade because of that, because I just want to just yeah, I played ball and stuff like that, at the school and stuff. But that was just the only thing that I wanted to do. And plus, also too, I going to the meetings, had my obligations and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But when it came to school, something just came like, why am I even focusing hard on school? Like, why? So I ended up getting held back in the eighth grade. Went to summer school,
No.
did the next year in the eighth grade. And everything like that, passed and everything. Get to the ninth grade, and this thing, man, this basketball thing is still calling my name, man. So, you know, still,
Mhm.
working out, just running, just doing stuff kind of like I'm a freaking drone, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
All
Yeah.
this potential, so to say. Yes, I was playing ball with the brothers and stuff like that. That, and I will say this, that did um, shape the way that when it comes to basketball, because I mean, one thing I can say that the Winces are very talented people. And
Mhm.
so then that early on, me playing with with grown people, with my dad and stuff like that, that kind of boosts me up. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, why are they so much serious? Why are they so serious on basketball, but yet and still they don't want people playing team sports? You know what I'm saying? Why are
Mhm.
they sitting here coaching me on how to shoot the ball or how to do this, that, and the third, but yet and still they
Yeah.
don't want me to excel
Yeah.
really in it or to turn it into a freaking career or something like that? Like, why? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
when I get,
because you be influenced. It's that
yeah,
influence that you're gonna have from other people. But I mean, you know. But going back to when you said, "What's the point of school?" You got the watchtower, brother. The watchtower is like 4 years of high graduation, college education, man.
exactly. So that's
Yeah.
my
So you
point. That
yeah. So
clarifies my
you
point.
yeah yeah yeah. You what you need to go to school for, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You got the watchtower.
Right. So if you have, and I mean, I could have been dumb for thinking like this. I don't know. This is my thought process. So it's like if I hear somebody saying that this is 4 years, this is like a university. You're getting a level
Yeah.
of university knowledge. You're getting
Uh
this
huh.
secret knowledge. I'm getting told this, but then all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't need to try hard in this. I don't need to excel in this. This is nothing. I'm just doing it because this system's not going to be lasting that long. I'm in the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
hours. I'm in the last. This is our last days. It can come
Mhm.
any moment. So why try hard in school anyway?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
just going to
Yeah.
go out in service, do my not extracurricular activities, but what they call it what's the terminology they say when you're my recreation, get my
Yeah.
recreation in,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do this, be around the brothers and stuff like that. Even though my dad had me going to the park and playing with
Mhm.
worldly people from
Mhm.
time to time, but they said, oh, that's different. But I just want to just do that. That was my thinking back then. So
Yeah.
when I get in high school, it's about ninth grade and everything like that. I got back to being serious about about school and stuff like that because of course my mom, and I will say this, my mom's like one of the, when it comes to business wise and managing money, my mom is exceptional, man. Like if it wasn't for Watchtower, she would probably be like Oprah right now. She would probably be
Mhm.
a business lady. I'm gonna say that. She would probably be a big time business person. Better than Donald Trump. And I
Mm.
don't. Way far better than Donald Trump. And I'm just playing on people there. They hear about Trump and say businessman or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But she would be successful. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she would be all. She would be something right now. But
Mm.
when it comes to school, she was on me. After I
Mhm.
repeat the eighth grade, she was on me, and I did not tell her the reason as to why.
Mhm.
That's another problem. I kept a lot of stuff secret. I
Mhm.
didn't tell my parents a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
Because you
you
felt they
know,
were gonna judge. Did you feel like they're gonna judge you or something?
right, right,
Yeah.
right. I just was fear. I was fearful.
Mhm.
I was scared. you
Yeah.
know. And so, I just buckled down, cause that summer, my mom, all she when she talked to me, I still had that same thing, when they talked to me and start crying, but I didn't cry, I felt really, really bad. I didn't want to. She
Mhm.
was upset with me. They was upset that I got held back in the eighth grade and everything like
Yeah.
that. Now, my dad, when it comes to education, he don't really care. I mean, I
Huh.
think one time I missed the bus and my dad was on. He took the day off. I said, "Dad, I missed the bus." He said, "Okay, well, stay home."
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, but then also too, I mean, I'm the only son that took up basketball, so then me and my dad's relationship was like tight. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we go ahead and I got in the ninth grade and everything like that, and still, wanting to play ball and stuff. And I just remember I was about to just go ahead and go to tryouts anyway in ninth grade, but I chose not to, because it was on a meet night. It always fell on a freaking meeting night. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Tuesdays and Thursdays, all those tryouts always fell on meeting nights. You know what I'm saying? I could never
Yeah.
understand that. So
Yeah.
what ended up happening was when I got to I think it was the 11th grade, and I didn't go to no tryouts when I was in the 10th grade, but when I was in the 11th grade, um, I was doing my classes, and I saw something on there that said weight room. So I
Mhm.
went and I took weight room, and I just remember when the coach was telling me, he was like, "I know you're not supposed to be in this class, but you seem as though like, your demeanor seems like you have a lot of potential to be an athlete. Only
Mhm.
people that's supposed to be in this class are people that have played sports already. And
Yeah.
I don't know if the coach heard about me playing at the park or heard about me from somewhere, but so he just knew that I had some type of potential or I can do something. So I go through weight room, and I mean that right there really like um it really structured me, so to say. It really did show me how far I can excel with working out, and how much I can
Mhm.
change things, in other words,
Yeah.
or have that attitude, you know what I'm saying? And it played a lot in me growing up also too. So I go and take weight room and get introduced to weightlifting and stuff like that. So on this Friday we were able to that was our free day. We could either play ball, go in the weight room, or we could
Mhm.
either go do our assignments, something like that. So we in the gym in the gym playing basketball and stuff like that. And so the coach is sitting there watching me, and they're seeing me play against people that's on a team, and I'm I was about to say so. We know we might have JWs on here, but I was getting them, so to say. I was
Yeah.
going off. I was going off, and
Yeah.
so they asked me. They said, "Why didn't you try out? Why didn't you try out for the team?" And so that I say, I didn't want to bring reproach on Jehovah's name. I didn't want to say because I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
What am
Yeah.
I supposed to say? And so
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
am I supposed to blame my parents? If I blame my parents, then I'm gonna probably get a note home. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing
Mhm.
is that maybe I should have, so that people can actually see what they're doing to kids, what they're doing to children.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should have. That was the time that look, schools need to know about this stuff, knowing what
Mhm.
a Jehovah Witness child goes through. Because if they did, I know things would change. It will put them on the
Mhm.
map. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You don't
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
with children's lives like that. You
Exactly.
don't do that. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Because it's gonna stay with them, and then as they get older, they become adults with the baggage. You know what I'm saying?
that baggage, yes, that
Yeah.
baggage.
Yeah.
So
A lot of XJWs got a lot of baggage that they bring out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
yeah. So like I tell the coach, I tell him I'm like well, I just want just to really focus on school. That's why I told them that, and they asked me another question I cannot remember, but I just remember kind of like brushing it off. No, didn't say anything, because we was in the middle of the game. They was asking me questions and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but that right there just let me know, like, dang, I'm really doing a big disservice to myself,
Mhm.
you know. And so I ended up going through 12th grade, graduating, and everything like that, and still going at it with people that was on the basketball team and stuff like that. I remember, matter of fact, and I hate to talk about my little stories or whatnot. I have both these fingers broken. I'm never going to get them fixed. You know why? I don't know if you see it,
Mm.
but you know why I'll never get these fingers? Because one of the guys from the basketball, he told me, he said, before we had played, he was like, yeah, you gonna sign this ball after you guard me like that. And
Yeah.
so then I just remember he was about to shoot it, and I just remember jumping through the air, and I caught it out the air. and but
Uh-huh.
my but my
Oh,
pinky
your
got
finger
caught in
broke.
between. Yeah, it got
Oh,
caught in
shit.
between him. Yeah, yeah. So that's one of my many memories. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah.
but anyway, it's kind of crazy because I mean, look, say you have this kid that's a JW nobody knows about. He's sitting here tearing people up. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah. You
so I
should just
mean.
took the man. You should just took the ball and ran and kept the ball, man. I would go get my I would get my finger fixed, man, and go find that ball, man.
Right, man. But I mean,
Yeah,
he really respected me after that. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So I go ahead and graduate and everything like that. So I start hitting my
Mm,
first wind of depression,
mm.
which a lot of kids go through.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yo, when you graduate, especially when you go to public school, what's next? What do you do?
Mm.
The only thing you have is them telling you, you know what I'm saying? I just remember my graduation, my grandfather asked me, like, well, what you gonna do now? And then me, I give him the nice little response. Well, I'm gonna be a full time servant of Jehovah. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna give Jehovah my all. And he
I'm giving my
said,
all.
and you know what my granddad said? He said, yes, that's what I want to hear.
Wow.
He
So
said,
he,
they
yeah.
said, yeah,
So he didn't want to hear the truth. He wanted to hear the truth, like the truth talk. He didn't want to hear the truth, what was on your mind. He just wanted to hear you say to show that, oh man, yeah, we raised a good little Jehovah
right.
Witness son. Show you off as a trophy.
Now
You know what I'm
hold
saying?
up,
That's
I
sad.
did miss something. My baptism. I forgot all about that because I mean it's not no longer important to me anymore. But let me talk about that. I got baptized when I was 18 years old, and a lot of times I notice that's my biggest problem when I talk about my story. I forget all about my baptism. You see
Hmm.
how important because I don't really value it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't
I
remember the
don't.
date?
Yeah,
You don't remember the date?
I just know it was in October of 2008. I just remember it was sometime within
Yeah,
October.
man.
But let me tell you how it happened. And this is before Tony Morris, that drinker, ABC store goer. Even though I'm an ABC store goer, but what I'm saying, he up there getting spirits and stuff like that. but let me tell you how it happened. Me and my dad were in the backyard, and my dad denies this, but children don't forget, and I don't tell I don't tell fibs like that. It's something like this I don't lie about. You know what I'm saying? And I still have the image in my head. My dad tells me, he says, yo, because I wanted to get my driver's license. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. And so then
Mm,
my dad tells me, he's like, well, you have to get baptized before you get your driver's license. And now mind you, and this is something else I forgot. When I remember I told you I was on the sound and stuff, right?
mm-hmm.
And this is around the same time anyway. They took me off the sound because we had this brother that came and moved, this elder that came from, I forgot where he came from, but anyway, I just remember his name was Brother Lee. He moved to where he moved to our congregation, and he said that only people that's supposed to have privileges are those that are baptized. So automatically, I have this pressure on me. I'm a up
Mm,
baptized publisher, and I'm carrying the mics, and I'm
mm.
doing sound. I've
Yeah.
been doing this for some years. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't really ready to get baptized because here it is. This is a serious step. I hear of my uncles, some of my uncles on my mom's side, of my aunts, they've been disfellowshipped 3 times. 3 times, and we can't talk to them. So I already know how serious that was. Not saying that I knew I was going to get this fellowship, but I just knew that it was a serious step. They always used to say when I used to go to my grandma's house, baptism is very serious. Only do it
Mm-hmm.
when you're ready. But
Yeah.
it's like when you're getting older, it's like, well, you can't do this unless you're baptized. So
Yeah.
me,
Unless you
okay, this is
baptized.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, me taking a part in the meeting, carrying the mics. It made me
Hmm.
feel like I was a part of it. I was a
Yeah.
part of the service. Like what I'm saying. It puts you on that close to the same level of you being in that hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You feel
saying?
like you. Yeah. You feel like you in the in crowd. You feel like you in the mix.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like automatic. And I just remember one of the elders. He was young. What I'm saying, he was younger. I mean, he kind of like was cool with the young kids. He would always take us out to go play ball. He would always do this, that, and the third. And I had two of them in my life. One of them, he was the one that really he played college ball, and I mean he kind of took me up on his wing. He would take me to the gym sometimes and everything like that. But and I'll talk about him a little bit, but anyway, he told me, my dad tells me, he says, get baptized before you try for your driver's license and everything like that. So I've got all this pressure on me, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden I just went in. I just said, I need to get baptized, and automatically I started really kind of focusing on my focus on spirituality and everything like that. And this is about when I was in the 11th grade. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what this was going. When I was in 11th grade, I started to focus on everything. I became very engrossed into the organization, really learning how they're learning their publications verbatim, and and everything like that, doing those baptism questions and all this other stuff. And so then what ended up happening was I ended up getting baptized, and I just remember everybody was just so irate. Everybody loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was saying, you know, congratulations and everything like that. Let's see, did Jumanji go off? He went somewhere. But anyway, I'll keep
No,
talking.
I'm here, man. I'm just trying to. I hear people screaming, so yeah, I'm here, man. I'm listening. I just,
Oh, oh
I'm
yeah.
trying to check. I hear people screaming. They got this dog on YouTube on. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you had to come out there with a belt or something.
Oh no, I got to turn that mess off. I'm in the back room. I hear people screaming. I'm like, what's going on in the
Hmm.
front room? All right, yeah, go ahead.
I hear, but yeah, I ended up getting baptized in Salisbury, North Carolina, and everything like that. So I mean, it was a good baptism. Did I feel anything? Somebody say I had a glow on me. Now I think back, no, it wasn't that. It's just people's minds. It's a lot of times people, they think that this thing is some sort of enchantment or magical enchantment,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
reality, you're just it's just a coronation, or you're just placing yourself into this way of life. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
It's pretty much a ritual when you become joined to a group. What's that called? It's a what's that called? Initiation, man.
yeah, initiation. Yeah,
Initiation. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it
That's
is.
all. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And yeah, yeah. And so then and I remember when it came to the baptism questions, there was one of them that I really struggled on. It was John 1:1. I really struggled with John 1:1.
I don't remember that. What question was that? I don't remember that question.
It was um me explaining John 1:1, because in how does it go? You know what it says? A God. They took the word was a God.
Yeah, yeah.
I had trouble trying to explain that, because I mean the elder that studied with me, he was
Mm,
trying to make sure that I was able to speak with conviction.
yeah,
Because he
that's
always
crazy.
wanted, yeah, he wanted me to be able to be sharp. In other words, you know
So if you didn't answer John 1 when you would never got baptized.
the way that they wanted me to. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to
Wow,
remember that verbatim. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
crazy.
That's the way that he did. Well, I mean, he didn't put a gun to my head, or not a
No,
gun,
no,
but
no. Yeah,
yeah,
no. I remember the questions before you get
yeah,
baptized. They ask you a bunch of questions, but it's like you getting baptized is dependent on you answering questions. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's not even
yeah,
biblical. You know what I'm saying? That's not
yeah.
even
You
biblical
had
at
those three
all.
books. You had those three books that you do. I had to go through the reasoning book, and then there was the requirement for worship book. I cannot remember. It was something. It's a magazine, and I just remember having a picture of a man and some kids on there. I just remember that,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember the name of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure other people, they in the comment section, they probably know what I'm talking about. Some requirement or something like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I just remember there was three books that I went through, and but one of them I will remember is the reasoning book. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Go through all that and everything, and get baptized, and everybody's so happy. Go back to school and stuff like that. And the first day back to school after getting baptized that weekend, somebody cracks a Jehovah Witness joke. What yeah, somebody,
Ooh, that's Satan, man. Satan
yeah,
was testing you.
right, and I just remember myself freezing, like, what do I say? What did I say, man? I ain't say nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sir, you missed your opportunity, man. You could have
Yeah, I
brought him
missed
into
my
the.
opportunity, man.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up here, got this depressed about me, still dealing with mess about basketball, having bad skin, bad acne on my face.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't say a word. But
Yeah.
and girls used to pick at me too, so I had that too going on.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So what ends up going on is back to when I graduated, everything like that. Fast forward. So I'm stuck with what I want to do with my life and everything. And
Hmm.
I remember I had a job when I was in the 12th grade. During the time I was graduating, I had a job at the Boys and Girls Club. I was working with kids and everything like that. So, that was something that was pretty awesome. That was my first job at the Boys and Girls Club and
So
everything.
hold on for a minute.
Go ahead.
So you could have a job because now Joe Winters cannot have a membership at that place, right? The
That's the
YMCA.
YMCA. This is the
What's
Boys
it?
and Girls Club.
What's the difference?
There is no difference. It's just that the YMCA has Christian in it,
Oh my
and
God, that's it.
yeah, yeah, the
Oh
YMCA,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit. I
yeah.
thought it was something.
Matter of fact, guess what? Matter of fact, I was out in service, right? Um, this was before I got my job at the Boys and Girls Club. I was out in service, and I think that I cannot speak on this particular individual because my wife here is like, who is this person? But anyway, there was this the brother, one of the brothers who studied with me for my baptism question. I mean, they always thought that me and his daughter were going to get together. I mean, it wasn't like, we never
Hmm.
did really like express ourselves, nothing like that. But we was all out in service one day, and
Yeah.
then they asked me. They said, my mom was like, "Yeah, Marvin's trying to look for a job and everything like that." But at the time, I got a job offer from the YMCA.
Hmm.
What I'm saying? 'Cause one of my friends had worked there. Plus, there was this lady who I was in school with. She was bent on getting people because they did say I had like a learning disability, but I think it was more like a slight ADD or something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Attention deficit disorder. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
do think, but they say I had learned this. But anyway, it doesn't mean when you hear about people being in resource, and I do need to touch on this. When you hear about people being in resource, it doesn't necessarily mean they're stupid or they're dumb. It just
Hmm.
means they have a learning disability.
Yeah.
And with me, what was causing my learning disability, plus it may have been some other stuff going on with me, what I'm saying, when it comes to being attentive. I had this watchtower BS. But anyway,
Hmm.
I was in that, but yet still she would help people get jobs that was in this program, you know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
I didn't mind. So she was able to work out something with me going to the YMCA, working at YMCA. So we was out in
Mm.
service talking, and I was like, well, I might take this job at YMCA. The whole car group got silent. And then what the what the elders, the one that studied me, his daughter says, well, you know what that means, right? You know that that's the YMCA. And then I just remember we went to he when we get to the next door, he tells me to come with him to this door, and he tells me, he said, that you could get this fellowship for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, you get this fellowship that if you take that job, because that's what he told me. And I'm like, oh well, I didn't know it meant that. I said, and I was like, I'll tell her I'm not going to take that job. So then that's when she
Mm.
was able to, I didn't really tell her in depth, but I kind of like was hush hush
Hmm.
about it. But
Yeah.
I just told her, I was like, is there anything at other place? Because I don't want to work at the Y. And she was like, well, I can get you at the Boys and Girls Club. So sure enough, I ended up getting a job at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. I'm gonna go back. I'm reading some of these comments. I don't want
Yeah.
to interrupt you reading the comments, but
Mm-hmm.
Heather said blackmailing, and I think that's why they're putting so much emphasis on baptizing as young kids because that's the only leverage they have over your baptism. You can blackmail a person when you baptize. If I'm not baptized, they can't really hold nothing against you. They can't take nothing from you. But when you baptize, now they could take stuff from you and hold that over your head. It's more you can control a person more when they're baptized. That's why I think they get younger and younger. You know what I'm saying? 9 years old getting baptized. Like, why would I get baptized at 9 years old? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why they trying to push that because and that's the first thing he said. You get this fellowship for it. It wasn't, why you want. It's not really discussing with you. It's just that. you know you get this fellowship. That's the first thing that they worried about.
Mhm.
Like, this is supposed to be a Christian religion. Why is the first thing? This is about love. Christian religion is about love. Why is the first thing you telling me is about being disfellowship? Why is you talking about punishment first? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's very it's very tough on children. Now, as a young man, you know, I'm young. I'm trying to find my way throughout this universe, throughout this world,
Mhm.
and everything like that. And I have this mess right here going on. Them telling me I can't have this certain job because it
Mhm.
has the word Christian in it. But yet, still, it did not click. It did not click just yet because here it is. We're talking about we're supposed to be Christians, but yet
Yeah.
still this is
You
a
can't go.
Christian
Yeah. Yeah.
organization also
That's
too.
stupid. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah,
Because you got
yeah,
Christian, you can't go, but we Christian.
yeah.
That
Exactly.
don't make no
But
sense.
hold
Yeah.
up, it's a part of Christendom. You know, they have it all wrong. They don't know nothing about fellowship. They don't know about um, you know, um, recreation and doing things. You know, they're just corrupt. It's from Satan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all from Satan. You know,
That's crazy.
so anyway, I go, take this job at the Boys and Girls Club and everything like that. You know, I worked there till I was like, till I graduated high school, and so then that's when I think she tried to get me a job at doing physical therapy, but
Mhm.
I didn't do it. It's just that I felt it was something that I did not want to do, and now, when the point of my life that I'm at now, I do kind of regret, not just going that route, but yet and still, I still had wanted to play ball. When I was at the Boys and Girls Club, I was doing things with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I was doing a lot of stuff. So I end up working retail for some years. Then I get this other job opportunity at Parks and Rec, and so then I ended up coaching AAU basketball for the city.
Mhm.
For the teams. You know what I'm saying? I get involved with that and everything. But what's kind of funny is the guy who had one of my coworkers there. He had just he graduated from Morris College not too long ago, and so
Mhm.
then when he saw me that I can play, he was like, and even on my days off, I'll be in there working out and stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so then he said, man, he said, you just got this like this drive, man. He's like, what you plan on doing with this? And then I went through a moment of depression I came out of because I gave up playing ball, just trying just to stick to, I tried, man. Like, money, I really did try. I tried just working and going to the meetings, working, going to the
Mhm.
meetings. I tried,
Yeah.
but then, something just was not sitting right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
that's when I went ahead and I go ahead and I tell him like, yeah, I think I want to do something with this. So
Mhm.
he sets me up with a workout at Morris College, and so then that's when they said that I could go, and I already had a spot on the team already. They said, nah, he don't even need a tryout. They
Mm.
said he already have a spot. They say he might not play that first year, but he already have a spot.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
the reason why they said that because I didn't play high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I already had a spot, and so
Mhm.
then when I was at Morris College, I registered to vote too. And then believe it or not, I registered as a Republican. I didn't really
Mm.
know what I was doing, but I registered. I read what their what they stood for and everything like that when
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
down there for that for that church. It was like a full day, man. So
Mhm.
I toured the campus. Then I played, and then that's when I read. It was like what right to register to vote. They said we want you to register to vote. So then I registered as a Republican, and I
Mhm.
read their value. I'm like, oh, okay. And this is in Sumter, South Carolina. So I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. I said, yeah, I like this. You know what I'm saying? So and I know that's something that you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
registered Republican. So
Yeah. But how old was you?
I was
How
like,
old were you?
I was 20,
Oh,
22.
okay. Oh, okay. I thought. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were still in high school. I'm like,
No,
you
no, no,
graduated
no,
high
no,
school.
no. I was at this, no when I was working at Parks and Rec. That's when I was like 22 years old when I got that
Oh,
job.
okay.
I was out of school.
Okay.
I kind
Oh,
of
okay.
kind of jumping back, but this is my life, man. It's a lot goes on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, so I ended up, registered Republican. Yeah. So I remember one time, after this, yeah, I had some repercussions from this visit, from this college visit. Somebody comes to and visit the house. Somebody came to the house, and then my mom calls me. I think I had just finished playing basketball at the park, And so then, and that's one thing too. My parents, they let me play ball with worldly people, but didn't let me play on the team. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, my mom called and said, "Yeah, somebody came by the house." And I said, "Who?" Said somebody came to see you. I said, "Who?" And then she was like, "He said he was a politician." So what ended up happening was one of these politicians, I guess, I heard did something, and I never did see. He said, "Yeah, he came to my house." You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
then I told my mom, I said, "Nah, I don't know nothing about that." Like that. This is I'm 22, man, and I have this still fear. I didn't want her knowing that. Okay, I did register to vote, but this is the part of my waking up process, man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not something that happens overnight. It's gradually.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's gradually. Now I remember I went down to Morris College another time because they asked me to come back up there, and so this is when some things really start. This is when it starts. After this one little workout I did, with I think it was their homecoming, and the my coworker, his name was Stan. He said, "Why don't you come up with and play with us at the college at Morris College? You know, what I'm saying, show them how you stack up with everybody else." So then he
Mhm.
was like, just come with me, meet us up there. And so then I go ahead and I ride up there and everything like that, go and play. I just remember myself, I went to the dollar store afterwards, what I'm saying, to get something to drink, get some Gatorade for this ride back to the house. And
Mhm.
so then my mom called me. She asked me where am I at, and I tell her, I said, "Mom, I'm at because I was fed up, man." I said, "Mom, I'm at Morris College right now." You know
Mhm.
what came out her mouth? Yeah, I told her
Mm.
I said I was at Morris College playing basketball. She asked me, she says, "Do you still love Jehovah?"
Damn. It's crazy, man.
I'm telling my mother that I'm at
Yeah.
Morris College and I'm playing basketball with people that's on the team. And her only response was, "Do you still love Jehovah?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
See that
still?"
and that yeah, and that goes to the culture though. I don't want to cut you off, but that's
No,
just the
you good.
culture. Like everybody is suspicious of everybody else. It's like no matter if you dedicated, no matter if you're a pioneer, no matter if you're an elder, everybody's suspicious of somebody doing something that's gonna disrupt the spirituality. I could be I could be a super pioneer, but it's like no one still trusts me unless you a circuit overseer or a doggone governing body member. It don't matter. You not safe, man. It's like no matter who you are, the congregation is always looking for some a flaw in your step.
Yeah.
And that's a bad culture, man, to be in. If you're supposed to love everybody, because there's no suspicion, no fear, and love. You don't trust somebody. How you say you love a person and you're gonna give them up? You're gonna give your life up for them. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to the whole culture. Like no matter what you do, somebody always thinking, "Oh man, this dude, what do you call that? What do they call that? This dude is becoming spiritually weak." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, spiritually weak. So I ended up telling her, where I was at and everything like that. And so then during this time, my sister and I, we start to we start talking about some things and everything like that. And so I think I told her, I said, "You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it." And one of the things that really shaped that was that I had one of my classmates that we weren't really too close. Of course I watched her going on, but I mean we just played together a lot of times and everything like that. And so then what he said was he died. So I think they say he committed suicide. So we play ball a lot together and everything like that. And so then that kind of like made me want to do something because he wanted to go and play too. And so then my dad, I talked to my son, told her all about it. And so then I just remember my dad coming home one day and we got into like an argument about it. And he was telling me, he's like, the only thing you're supposed to be focused on is serving Jehovah and everything like that. So I'm stuck with depression, what I'm saying, trying to understand, really what to do with my life and everything like that. So I just said to myself, you know what? I don't want to deal with any of it. Like I'm don't want to disrespect my parents, but yet still I'm tired of it. So I did a and I hate to say I did a dumbest decision. This is the dumbest decision I made because I should have just left. If I was going to leave, I should have just left and went to school, went to college, but I chose not to.
Mhm.
So what ends up happening is, I'm just living my life, man. Just, what I'm saying, I stopped going out in service, kind of like, I just started slacking off. I just started just really working with the Parks and Rec, just investing my time into the kids. I started college. I did go to a school. Went to one of these, well, knockoff school, I say, but still, it was a knockoff school of Virginia college places, but still, those tools, what they were teaching, kind of shaped me a
Yeah.
little bit. It helped me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a, man, my college professor, man, he was on point. He was conscious, so to say. And I'm
Mhm.
just gonna say he was black consciousness was right there in front of me before I woke up. He made
Yeah.
this, he told me this quote, and it goes like this. Beliefs are things, you heard me say this a lot. Beliefs are things which other people hold as truths. Truth can
Mhm.
only be substantiated with primary evidence, consensus, and your five senses that are biological.
Mhm.
That's what he said. He said that when that first thing that came out his mouth, when he got still the board, it was a class called professionalism,
Mhm.
and that was the first thing he got in front of the class with his broke behind fingers. He had two fingers broke behind school. He said, "Look," and he wrote it out. He wrote out like this. He told us, "Belief." He said, "Beliefs are things which other people hold as true." And then he
Mhm.
underlined it.
Oh
And I'm
man.
sitting up here, yeah, I was like this. At this point, I'm like a JW that is falling off, but still believes in it.
Mhm.
Physically in, but mentally out. But yet still, when
Mhm.
it comes to the
Believe it.
Watchtower, that's still the truth. Yeah, but it's
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. In other words, but for me to hear that,
Yeah.
that started, saying taking the rust off those gears, saying it started
Mhm.
really redefining my thinking. So I'm starting to think
Yeah.
my gears are turning, everything like that. But and I'm moving pretty fast here. When what made me go to school was that I got involved with my child's mom.
Mhm.
I got involved. My first daughter got involved with her, and so then what ended up happening was after a while I ended up just snapping, so to say. Um, I was upset with a lot of stuff because my parents found out that I had a girlfriend and everything, and so I just snapped, man. Like I left the house, moved in with
Mhm.
them,
Mhm.
moved in with them. It was going to school, going to college, what I'm saying, for during that first year and
Mhm.
everything. But little did I know, and I don't want to talk too much about that relationship, but little did I know that it started faltering. I got my first taste of the world, so to say, you
Mhm.
know? And I
Yeah.
mean, during the time before that individual, I mean, I had somebody else that, I could have got involved with, but it yet still, I kind of gravitated towards this person because they were a little bit extreme. It's kind of like how you have those women that like the bad guys. Saying the
Mhm.
bad guys are introducing them to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it goes for both ways. A girl can introduce a guy to something, and a guy can introduce a girl to something.
Mhm.
So I end up getting involved. Still bypassing the person that was, saying it was kind of like had their shit together. I
Mhm.
bypassed that person and went
Yeah.
towards the negativity. The
You like
one
that
that's really going,
dysfunction?
yeah,
Yeah.
the
The
one that's going
dysfunction.
to
Yeah.
teach me how the world
Yeah.
is, so to say.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm basically playing into the Watchtower narrative.
Mhm.
That say the narrative of that everybody in the world is terrible,
Mhm.
demonized, is going
Yeah.
to basically chew you up and spit you out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I ended up getting involved with her and everything like that, going through that whole entire process, which a child did come out of it and everything. But this is the part, moving back into my parents' house. You know what I'm saying? Because I left twice. I did, when we break up, I'll go back home and then leave and
Mhm.
come back out.
Mhm.
That it was so hard. My dad, while I was out, my dad got a privilege, so to say, because saying the housing market crash of 2000 and from the housing market crash of 2008, that when
Yeah.
Obama
Yeah.
got into office and then Bush
Mhm.
came in, and with that recession and the economy was just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, when the housing market, but a little bit before 2007, when it was starting to go down, and I told you that my dad's a real estate agent, he we started struggling. You know, saying I'm speaking on tonight. So what ended up happening is that okay, my dad's a real estate agent before. Now all of a sudden he's not no longer. He's working at a little at a grocery store
Mhm.
management. He's getting more
Yeah.
time to be off.
Yeah.
He gets privileges.
Mm.
So now he has a privilege when when all this was going on with me and my girlfriend and everything like that. So, he's a ministerial servant now.
Mhm.
So he was a ministerial servant, but if I was to move back in, then he would have to give up his position.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? So let me make sure we're clear on this, okay? So and I'm kind of jumping back and forth, but I'm just saying that my dad was a real estate agent. He couldn't get no privileges, so then he ended up giving the job up, getting another job at a grocery store. But he has a privilege by the time that I have this situation going on that I'm running the world, so to say. I'm just using JW, rhetoric, so to say. The way they speak. But you know, my sister ended up helping me out a lot. Talking to my dad, like you can't just let him just stay out there like that. They were going to do that. They were going to let me sleep out my car, which I didn't care. I was prepared to do it. I told my sister, I said, look, if they don't want me to come back, I'll sleep in my car. I could take showers at the gym if I need to. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can sleep out my car. I can stack because I still held a job throughout
Mhm.
all my mess that I had going on. I still held a job down, and so then I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep out my car. I can live out my car. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Yeah.
my sister was like, knowing her, okay, I'm like your little brother. Would you let your little brother sleep out his car knowing good and well you have this house?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So she ends up letting me stay with them for like 2 weeks and everything like that. So we ended up talking to my dad and she was telling me, she was like, yeah, this is gonna be the last time, Marvin. Are you sure that you're done with her? And I was like, yeah, I am. And so then I ended up, just, I remember I was at work one day and I got my ex sent me a message saying that she's pregnant and everything like that. And so then
Mm.
I told her off the top because our relationship was kind of rocky. I told her, I said, look, I know that you had some stuff going on that you was that you weren't entirely truthful. You kept going back to your ex. So I mean, when the child gets here, I'm want to get a DNA test. That's
Mhm.
what I told her. And
Yeah.
so then fast forward to all that, the child is mine. She obviously lived with me because of some issues that was going on, you know what I'm saying? So, that's the end of that story. But it's like when when you're going through these issues, it all stemmed from one particular source. And the source was, I believe, just watched her just playing too much into people's lives.
Mhm.
Playing too
Yeah.
much. Now, with me moving back in this fellowship, I was going to the meetings for a little bit. And I remember my mom telling me, she was like, you need to tell the brothers what you did or what's been going on. You need to tell the brothers. They're going to help you. They're going to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Them telling me all this stuff that the brother's going to help me and stuff like that. And so then I remember my judicial committee, because I went up telling us, like, I need to talk to y'all. And I mean, everybody, when I came back, so when I started going back to the hall, man, after me, moving back in for my relationship and stuff like this, was before my child was born. This is the second time I moved in because I kind of skipped that a little bit. But it was like this, like people were talking to me and everything, like nothing didn't happen. They say, oh man, it's happy to see you, how you been. Nobody
Mhm.
didn't ask what was going on in my life. They were just happy to see me. But
Say
it's
yeah.
still, yeah, it's still, my mom was like, you need to talk to the brothers. You need to talk to the brothers, because I mean, this is my business. You know what I'm saying? This is
Mhm.
what I have going on. And so then what ended up going on is I have my judicial committee, and I wasn't right. I was not right in the right to challenge them. I wasn't. My mind was in the right place. Man,
Mhm.
I would give anything. No, no, I wouldn't give anything, but I would love to have another judicial committee, because I really could stick it to them now with the
Mhm.
knowledge that I have now.
Yeah.
Because it was like they were just blowing me over with a lot
Yeah.
of stuff, telling them everything that was going on and stuff like that. So, um, what ended up getting me this fellowship was this. During my relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like my ex, she still was having things going on. You know, we still was going through this, that, and the third. Um, I just remember her. You know, she did get pregnant and whatnot at one point. This was before my now daughter, but what ended up happening was that she didn't want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want
Mm,
to keep the child. Now, me, I'm not when it comes to children and abortion. Like, I don't believe in doing it like at 8 months or nothing like that. Like,
mm-hmm.
if it's something that should be done as early as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Now, is she a witness? Was she a witness?
no, well, there you go. Good, glad you asked that. And I don't want to spend too much time on her, but but anyway, it was kind of like she had some friends, not friends, but family members that were. You know what I'm saying? So family members that were. So what ended up happening was that you know what I'm saying, she wanted to have wanted to have the procedure and everything. So she ended up having it. And so me, when they told me to come out the room, you know, when they tell you to go out the room, they're going to decide on
Mm-hmm.
what they want to do.
Yeah.
I started thinking about that. I'm like, well, that's something that I didn't say. Let me tell them this. Let me be truthful. Let me tell
Yeah.
them everything. You know what I'm saying? Let
Mm.
me have my slate clean in front of the eyes of Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Uh-huh.
do that. Let me do that. So I ended up telling. I walked back in the room. I said, yeah. Through our relationship, you know, she was pregnant and she had a procedure done, and I told him that. Now, mind you, it wasn't my idea. You know what I'm saying? She just went and said that she didn't want to have it, to have the
Mm-hmm.
child. That's what she said. So, that just makes me think sometimes that, maybe it wasn't mine, what now we don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, we just don't know, So then I told them that, and I just remember them just looking like they was like, "Thank you for telling me that. Thank you
Mm.
telling us that." So then they tell me to go back
Yeah.
outside, come
Thank you
back
for telling.
in.
Now we could be more justified in what we're finna do.
Yeah, so I come back in. One of the elders is crying, and the others are not. But the one that I was closest to, he was,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of hit me a little bit because I still got this feel a little bit. When I talk about this, man, that's what I want to do is, man, because it kind of gets me to the feelings, you know what I'm saying. But this is a grown
Yeah.
man. I can tell how it really has shaped a lot of them. It really has like really affected a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's sitting up here, and this elder who I was really close to, by the way, his name's Marvin too. But he's telling me that reading, telling me about what's going on, what they're going to have to do. That I'm this fellowship. He had to stop. He couldn't do it
Uh-oh.
because he
Hey,
started.
your speaker went out.
Oh, can
Your
you hear
speaker
me?
went out, Mike.
Hold on. How about now?
Yeah, probably try to go out and come back in. Probably try to go out and come back in. Yeah, yeah, your microphone's not working. All right. So I hope you come back in, man. Hey, I want to thank y'all for paying attention, man. I can't. I'm looking at the comments, and I see you guys talking. Let me see. Huh. Yeah, AK Perez said, "When do we ever have a free night as JWs?" Shoot, I don't. It was no night, man, because the night before the meeting, you preparing for the meeting. If you were sincere, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it was really no night that you was free. Saturday and Sunday was already taken up. Friday, I mean, yeah, it was no night, man. You have to live a double life to really have a free night. You know what I'm saying? It was no like, okay, he's back on.
Yeah, you can hear me
All
now.
right. Yeah, I hear you
Yeah, yeah. That I'm talking too much now.
now.
But anyway, he's sitting up there and he's crying and everything like that. And I mean, I could feel his
What's going on,
emotions.
Michael AM?
Oh yeah, yeah, Michael and Mr. Professionals in the building. Yeah, hey man, I knew this was gonna be a long one, man, but you know what I'm saying? I'm almost wrapping it up. I didn't
Yeah, no,
I,
go ahead, man. Cause yeah, I mean, it's a yeah. I mean, you sure you almost 30 years old. You got lot of story, man. So yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
man, I'm getting old. I'm getting
Yeah,
old,
yeah, yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. No
yeah,
problem, man. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we got to do a part two and part three. You know,
Well,
no
you know what
matter.
my
So yeah,
schedule
go ahead.
is. If let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm probably going to plan on chopping this up. You know, what I'm saying if we can all get it done tonight, because put it into part two, and then perhaps
Hmm.
maybe like re-release it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
re-premiere it, so to say. Well, people like to be live anyway, but it is what
yeah,
it
yeah,
is. But anyway, this is a
yeah.
good chat. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, good story, man. Cause I'm listening. And it just reminds me of when I was in there, man. A lot of stuff. The what do you call it? Depression. I suffered that, cause it's like I didn't feel like I was doing enough. It's like even though I never felt. And people always tell me, man, you're doing good, you're doing a lot, but your mind, your condition feel like, man, you're not doing enough, and you just feel depressed. Like you feel you're supposed to feel fulfilled, but you feel empty. Like, oh man,
Yes.
I'm not the best I can be, and that wears your mind down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's relatable, man.
And you know another thing is this. All of Most of the arc, what do they always talk about? Depression, having depression, how to deal with depression, anxiety, and
Hmm.
all this other stuff. And it's like, why, like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
why all this? Why do we have to deal with anxiety when
yeah.
the problem is that all the anxiety is coming from this?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You're hearing growing up that God is going to destroy your neighbors. God is going to just destroy everything, obliterate everything. So
Hmm.
yes, you're going to have anxiety. You don't
Yeah, and
want there.
possibly you too.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
not, yeah,
yeah. Especially you. Yeah, especially you.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You. If you don't go out and service, you're gonna have to. People's blood on your hands. You're gonna have to live for
Hmm.
that.
Yep.
Um, through the rest of the system of the new system, you're gonna have
Hmm.
regrets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
automatically, you have that going on.
Yeah.
So now when I look back to when I was this fellowship, after this fellowship and everything like that, I remember I rode home, and by the way, I didn't feel nothing, man. Like, I remember walking in the door, and my mom was like, "How did it go?" I said, "Oh, I'm just fellowship."
Mm.
And then there was like a long pause. They looked at me. They was like, "And you're happy about that?" I said, "No, I don't think so. I just they just told me I'm just fellowship."
Hmm.
And I go in and walk in the room and shut the door, and then started playing my PlayStation 2.
But what did she think? I mean, what did she think was gonna happen? Did she really think you was gonna get counseled? Like, probably, I don't understand who. I mean, if you in there a long time, nobody go in there ain't gonna come out the same. Like, what happened? Oh, he might be this fellow. I'm pretty sure she had in the back of mind that yeah, he might be this fellowship. That's why you go
Well,
tell him.
what they wanted was they were studying my body language. I didn't come home upset and breaking down.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't hurting inside. Would they say this fellowship is what? Punishment from Jehovah. So I was like that child that get popped, but it doesn't
It,
affect them.
yeah, it says loving discipline. Loving is
Right.
loving. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, but for me, they know that it's loving when you're sitting up there crying and upset, and you're sad, because when it happened to my other aunts, and and maybe I don't know if my uncles, but from some of my aunts that I've seen that get fellowship, they're upset, they're breaking down, they're torn up and on the inside. But for me, it wasn't like, oh, mom and dad, I'm just fellowship. What am I gonna do? It wasn't none of that. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm just
Cause
fellowship.
you pretty much woke already, so it wasn't
Yeah,
you was
yeah,
woke. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm in college. You know what I'm saying? I'm already noticing something about beliefs, but I didn't have the tools. I know that there was a problem, but with religion, but I did not have the tools. I didn't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? I was
Mm-hmm.
like Kanye West. You don't have the
Mm-hmm.
answers.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's like something wrong, you just can't put your finger on it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, something. Yeah, you just can't put your finger on
yeah.
it, and
So I'm
it's just
like,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just fellowship and everything like that. So um, and I do want to talk about this, but I'll talk about that later on when I start talking about me getting to the point that I'm at now. But anyway, I ended up this, like I said before, me and my child's mom, we ended up breaking up like 3 times, and so the last time, that's when I had to move back in and
Hmm.
everything else, and then I was going to the meetings again, but it was like I couldn't talk to nobody. I
So
couldn't
you,
talk.
yeah, yeah. So mom, you was like an abuser. You get abused by watch time keep going back to him, man. Like you
Yeah.
dysfunctional,
Well,
brother.
well,
Yeah.
right during that time, that is during that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But I didn't have no other place to go. I mean, it's like I know I need to go back home and regroup. You know what I'm saying? I need to go back home, and I did want to go back home. I didn't want to live out my car. I didn't want to do that. And my sister, she had kids and everything. She had a husband and everybody and everything like that. So I didn't want to totally live with them because we don't. Our family isn't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Our family isn't like the type of family that really can take in a uncle or take in this, that, and the third when there's a person that could that where they can stay. So I did end up. That's the reason why I moved back home and everything like that. And so then I knew that my ex was pregnant and everything like that. And so then that's when I was back at home, and I just remember just going to the meets for a little bit, and this brother who I basically grew up with, I known since I was little, me and him were real close. And so then he walks up to me, and I guess he didn't know I was his fellowship. He walks up to me and starts talking to me, and then somebody says something to him, and then he's like, "Oh,
Oh,
I'm
damn.
sorry." He says, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Damn, that's
And
crazy, man. That's hella crazy.
and I said, "You know what? Nah, I don't want to be here."
Yeah, yeah,
I said,
yeah,
I said, I said to
yeah,
myself, I do not want to be here. I don't want to go
yeah,
back because
yeah.
if that is so freaking disrespectful, this man wants
Yeah.
to talk to me. He
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
knows me. He known this little African American boy. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? He's a white brother at that, but I mean, he
Mhm.
knows this African American boy since he was little. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He's watched him grow up to a young man,
Yeah. I mean,
and he
what and
wants to
what you?
talk to him.
Yeah, man. What you supposed to do at that moment? What you supposed to do? Unwitness to him at that moment in the Kingdom Hall. What were you supposed to do at that moment?
Right. And also too,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he was kind of hip too. Hippie old,
Yeah.
it's a cool old man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his
That's
last
that's
name, he
crazy.
we had the same last name. So then what we used to say growing up was that was our and I'm not trying to get too racist. Please nobody take this racist. You know what I'm saying? But we used to say that was our white grandparents. This is I mean don't be racist, but I mean we used to say that was our white grandparents. And I mean you can't really say that's racist because I mean look, we're telling that he's part of our family because we had the last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Same
had the
thing.
same last name. So I mean, we was cool. So he
Yeah.
watched me grow up. I'm like his grandson, so to say. He used to call me.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, it's my grandson." Because I mean, this
Yeah.
is a family that used to come to the house. We used to always do things together. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
so yeah. So he's
But
talking. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
oh no, I'm gonna say that remind me too. Also, it's like I mean, when I was this fellowship, I was going to Kingdom Hall. I'm this indoctrinate witness. So this lady, I used to see her at the train station in the morning. I was going to work when I was studying. So I got this fellowship back over there. And she came over, start talking, saying, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "I got this fellowship." She's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that." She got walked away. But it's
Mm,
another time. It goes the same thing with you. Like my wife, when we were dating, um, I was this fellowship, and she was studying. She was studying with some witnesses in another city. So when I went to go see my daughter down there, she was studying. And so while they were studying, I walked into the living room, and it was, "Oh, is that the child's father right there?" And then I'm like, "Yeah." So we start talking, but like the person she's studying with, I see her back is facing me, right? Her back is facing me. She's facing the other lady. And so while I'm talking to the other lady, I'm talking the late her studies between me and the other lady. So I could see like
mm-hmm.
her lips moving. So I'm pretty sure she told her I was this fellowship. And I ended the conversation right there. It's just crazy, man, that they're so on you, man. Like, God, dog, like why are you so into socking it to people? It's like the culture is so much into socking it to another brother. You know, it's crazy, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick you one down. That's crazy. But I just what you said just reminded me. Like your story. I'm pretty sure you're not the only one experienced that. That's crazy, man. It's hella crazy. But yeah,
No.
anyway, go ahead,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, yeah. But everybody has experienced that. It's and that's to me that's one of the most. It doesn't. I didn't really feel disrespected. That that was a time I felt disrespected, but it was like, why am I even here?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I even sitting up here when
Yeah, yeah,
nobody
yeah,
cannot talk to me?
yeah.
Another thing that happened was this. I'm go to my grandma's house, and what ends up going on is that some brothers was coming. This couple was coming to the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm disfellowship, and at this time, my grandfather, saying his health is starting to decline and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so then they tell me, you need to go to the back and sit in the back because we have some friends that's coming over. That's what my aunt tells me.
This at the house or the Kingdom
This
Hall?
at my this at my grandparents' house.
Oh, go sit in the back room, huh?
Go sit in the back and in the bedroom. I cannot be amongst them with eating. Man, that's when I felt really disrespected because I'm like this. I've been going to this house and
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that. I'll tell you that when we talk on the phone. But but
But you
anyway, yeah,
they had
yeah.
you in the
Let
back
me
room like you alert or something
let
from
me
the Adams
tone it
family.
down. Let me tone it down a little bit. But anyway, she told me to go to the back, and so then it's like, I'm sitting in the back and everything that because they want because I'm this fellowship and these are the friends coming from the Kingdom Hall. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a disgrace, so I'm sitting back there with my grandfather, and that's the crazy thing about it. Me and my grandfather had a long conversation. It wasn't even about Watchtower. As much engrossed as he was with the organization, and I mean, he was like, my grandfather was like, how Joe Jackson was with the Jackson Five when it came to music
Yeah.
and beating them kids.
Yeah, about to say that ass whooping. Yeah, yeah, I know how
That's
he is with that
how
ass whooping.
that's how my grandfather was with the organization. And a little story about that,
Ooh.
my mom, but he used to have a green water pistol. And so then when somebody was sleeping during the meeting, he'll look down the aisle and shoot them with the water pistol. But if you got shot with the water pistol, best believe your behind was getting towed up. You
Yeah.
had a
So
comment. You had a comment
so
at a meeting.
so
They
he's
had at
sitting there,
least.
he's sitting there waiting the Kingdom Hall seats. He
Pretty
went in the
much.
Kingdom of the yeah. I used to just poke my kid. I didn't do all that. I just poked them when they were asleep. But yeah, you gonna take a water gun? So did he do it like discreetly? Like did he put it under the seat so I couldn't see?
No, man. From what I can remember, from what the story goes, that he had the water pistol. And he's looked down the aisle, and my mom said he had good aim. Said he had good aim. Like he never did. He never get no other friends with it. He didn't. He didn't pop any of the friends with. But
He probably closed his good eye. He probably like this.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
He
so
had that.
so.
He had that in his book bag. He's like, I got my Bible, my reason book, my
Yeah.
soul book, and my water pistol.
Yep, that was it. And I mean, this says, and there's some stories sometimes that when he would be up front, cause he was the presiding overseer. When they said the presiding overseer, this is, and he, like I said, he's been engrossed in Watchtower since the late 40s and early 50s and the 50s and all that. Not 40s, but 50s and up
Hmm.
until the 2000s. So he was always in, that was the religion. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That was the way. But during this time, when I'm sitting in the back, his health is failing. His health is going down,
Yeah.
and everything like that. And one of the reasons why they said that it happened this way was because he didn't feel as though he needed to do anything when it came to his health because the new system is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's one of the things that was told to me. You know,
Mm.
and they said that if he had focused a little bit more on his warning signs, that he wouldn't have gotten so bad with his
Yeah.
kidneys and everything. And if any of my family members do ever see this, I love my grandfather David. This is not to tear down his legacy, because I'm
Hmm.
his legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, but this part of his life, like I wish that maybe he could have still been here if he would
Yeah.
have focused on that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But
Yeah.
but what ended up happening was we had this nice conversation. It was about working. About just me asking him questions about how he used to work at Lowe's and everything like that. And so I just told myself, I said, what, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to sit back, let somebody else tell me what I need to do just because of their religion. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This is not going to happen. So then I
Yeah.
remember on the way back to on the way back to the house and everything like that. Now mind you, at this time I did meet somebody. We didn't really like, I met this person through a mutual friend. So we were just friends texting, and I was kind of like, I don't know. No, I didn't tell her about it. No, 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 no. I can't say that. No, this was before that. But anyway, just I did meet somebody during that time, but I didn't tell her about this situation yet. So, what ended up happening is that I'm working this job at a furniture company. Now, something dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? I want to get my CDL. If I'm sitting here
Mhm.
driving furniture and stuff like that, this is while I was in school also too. I'm thinking like, trying to finish up school and everything like that. And then I took a break from it, but I was like, I just want to get my CDL now. I'm gonna take a break from school. I want to get my CDL because I need to get out my parents' house. And I saw how much money you can make, trucking too. Because one thing I left out again, I'm forgetting stuff. I did try to go to the Navy. My dad
Mhm.
said, if you go to the Navy, you go to the military, then you're getting out of my house. And I don't know why I didn't just say, you know what, I'm gone, whatnot. But I
Yeah,
guess I
yeah.
didn't. I guess I didn't want to spend those 3 weeks or something like that, me waiting on the acceptance, so to say, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, I chose. I had two choices: Navy or the I went to MEPS and went through the whole process, but I just didn't ever sign anything. They had a job for me with aviation or something like that, but I just didn't go through with it. But anyway, I had a choice between that or trucking. I chose to get my CDL. You
Yeah.
know, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, look, right now I don't want to be kicked out of the house.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna get my CDL. So then, that's when I went through truck school, and in between that, that's when I met my now wife and everything like that. But what ended up happening was my first trucking job. Well, before I got my CDL, I would say I tried to get through a beer company in South Carolina. So after the first day of work, I tear my ACL playing basketball. Now, notice this, Jumanji. Even though we're supposed to be getting to my spirituality, but this right here is before. I gotta talk about this because this right here kind of, I'm trying to bring you up to date, so to say.
Hmm.
So what ended up happening is that I tear my ACL one night at the gym, and so I end up working this job at this Budweiser company with a torn ACL. Waiting for my insurance to kick in, and so then on that day of the day before my surgery, um, my wife is telling me, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend now. No, no, were we? Yeah, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. But then she's like, I'm not going to be a secret because I'm still playing secret. I ain't want my parents to know. I'm freaking 24 years old, not wanting my parents to
Mhm.
know that I have a girlfriend. So then
Mm.
she's like, yeah, I'm not going to be a secret. And I didn't tell her why yet. You know what I'm saying? Why I was keeping her a secret. So I'm not gonna be a secret. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. My wife, she don't play, man. You seen her on here, our little video we did at time. She don't play, man. She said, I'm not gonna be no secret. And so then I just remember telling my mom, I said, Mom, I have a girlfriend now. And she's like, what? Like that. And I'm old, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm a
you
grown
go, you
behind
grown ass
man.
man.
Yeah. I'm
What?
like, yeah. I'm like,
You
yeah.
go to your room, little boy.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so now I'm like, yeah, because I'm supposed to have my surgery the next day, and so I said, yeah, she's gonna. I say her name is Jerry, and she's coming up here. You know what I'm saying? She wants to come down and help me, help assist. Now my parents already have this thing about worldly girls and the world itself. So I showed them a picture of her, and she was like, oh well. My mom just has this weird thing that she does. She's like, well, she looks like your brother's ex, like that. Well, she doesn't. I don't know why my mom will say some outlandish claim like that. Will make such an
Mm.
outlandish claim like that. And so then What ends up happening is, okay, Jerry comes there, and then she ends up talking to my mom, and so then I end up having my surgery, and so then my mom calls my sister. My sister told me the story. She's like, it's a big difference. It's a big difference because they were expecting
Mhm.
her to be just like what I had. You know what I'm saying? She's like, it's a big difference.
Yeah,
She's
cause
not.
she
Yeah,
well
she
she was worldly, so to say.
yeah, but it's like she had her mind like it wasn't like
Mhm.
nothing crazy, you
Mhm.
know. And so then it was like we just they really changed a little bit. Like when she would come down, like we would go out and I wouldn't come home and they wouldn't care.
Mhm.
It was kind of like they knew that this person was a positive for me, but yet and still, I think in their hearts they knew that, okay, this is somebody that he's taking this relationship serious,
Mhm.
you know. And so then I didn't really tell them that I was moving out because I mean, what I'm saying, that's when she said, we need to get our own place like that. Because I mean, it was time for me to get out of Florence, man. There's nothing in Florence, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
There's nothing there. And
Yeah.
I did have some good times back at home and everything. Like I said before, I don't know if I told you this or I didn't say this, but I'm trying to cover everything as much as I can. But Zion Williamson, I used to play ball with him at his dad at the park. So I mean,
Mm.
I do know him. I watched him grow up and everything. Me and his dad, we used to help. We helped somebody else move one time. They used to play college ball, and then we used to play at the park and everything. So, well, believe it or not, I'm more closer to his dad, but he knows me. But I'm more
Mhm.
closer to his dad than more than anything. So,
Mm.
that's one thing I can say as far as that's one things that I was lucky to experience, watching that
Yeah.
young man grow up and everything like that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, back to my story, but it was time for me to really go, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I didn't tell my parents I was moving out. I just packed my stuff
Mhm.
gradually, you know what I'm saying, and just left,
Yeah.
and just left. And this is when we had my parents, our relationship really started taking a downturn for the worse.
Mm.
Um my sister, she got married in 2006 and this is kind of emotional for her. I'm trying to keep myself up, man. I'm gonna try to keep myself up. This is when we
Mhm.
really start getting to the meat of things,
Mhm.
man. So my sister gets married in 2006. I'm going back a little bit, but what ends up happening is I remember we was coming home. Let me tell you a little bit how they meet. I'm gonna kind of breeze through that a little bit because it's gonna help this story that I'm about to give, this experience. So what ends up happening is we come home from a book study. This is before they got married. Now, we
Mhm.
come home from a book study one day, and so my dad is waiting at my sister's job to pick her up. She ain't there,
Mhm.
so she ain't there. So we are coming home from the book study, and this car is rolling up. It's my brother-in-law. he it was a big mess that night. Let me just say this. It was a big mess that night. But what ended up happening is, next following week, he comes to the house and he talks to my mom and everything like that. My mom would not hug him.
Mm.
My mom would not give him a hug because she said that because my sister had some mess going on all throughout school. And like I said, she rebelled, but anyway,
Mhm.
she's still living in our house and stuff like that. And so, my mom got to meeting my brother-in-law and everything like that. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something, man. My brother-in-law now, he's a state trooper. He's
Mhm.
cool as hell. I'm more closer to him than I am my own brother.
Mm.
Yeah. So then, I mean, cool as hell, but that was a big thing, like that he had to deal with her not wanting to hug him.
Mhm.
Before I even got married, my mother-in-law now, I mean, before she became officially my mother-in-law, she'll give me hugs. She was calling me
Mhm.
son already before we even got married. But my
Mhm.
mom would not hug my brother-in-law because
Mm.
they were not married. So
Mhm.
what ends up happening is 2006 they get married. A sister from the Kingdom Hall helped them out with their wedding. She had some of the friends from the Kingdom Hall at the wedding. My parents went to her wedding. My sister was never baptized, but they attended their wedding. My dad walked her down the aisle.
Hmm.
My dad sung at her wedding. Cause my dad's another thing my dad does. My dad has his own singing business that he does. He sung at her wedding, did all this stuff for her wedding. You know what I'm saying? In 2018, on that 2017 Thanksgiving, that's when I proposed to my wife.
Hmm.
So then, I do have contact with my parents, during that time and everything like that. But what ends up happening is that I tell my dad, it's the same night. Well, what I did was I did the traditional way before I proposed to her, I should say. I went and I talked to when I got the ring that night. You know what I'm saying? I went and talked to my in-laws and I asked them. I did the old-fashioned way. I said, what you think about me? Are y'all okay with me proposing to your daughter? That's what I asked them. And so then, my father was like, well, you've been around here long enough. Shoot,
Hmm.
we already know what you all about. Ain't no problem with me. That was that what he said. He said, ain't no problem with me. You want something to eat or something like that? He said, cause he's from Louisiana. He's like, you shoot, you want some rabbit? I got some rabbit in the
Oh shit.
yeah. He said, I got some rabbit in the oven. Some rabbit is
That's hella country. God dog.
yeah. So then my mother-in-law was like, well, if you do it, then it has to be traditional. If you do it, she's all real technical and everything like that. Yeah, I want y'all to get married at the church. That's where you need to get married. Married at the same church that we got married at. And I'm like, okay, I don't care about it. I'm asking y'all, how do y'all feel about it?
Uh-huh.
But obviously, I got my answer. So
Mhm.
I go to the store and buy a ring and everything like that. Go to K Jewels, buy a ring and stuff like that. So I call my dad, and it's like, as a man, you want to have that heart to heart talk with your father about marriage and stuff. And marriage
Mhm.
is supposed to be God's arrangement. I
Yeah.
tell my dad, first thing comes out of his mouth is this: well, we can't attend the wedding.
Hmm.
Man, it's like my heart just literally like went in my stomach, man. I'm
Mhm.
like, I knew that they couldn't, but like, how dare you? Like, how can you be so cold to say something like that? To even have those feelings, to even say that to your son. Your son is doing something that your religion is supposed to push, but yet and still you saying that you can't even attend his own wedding? Like,
Yeah.
come on. You value, and this is our biggest problem, man. We must talk about this, man. You value my brother's relationship. You will go to their house. Now, my brother, he's not married, but yet still he's in a relationship with somebody that they're shacking up. You value
Mhm.
their relationship. You would go and stay in their house just to go to the assembly,
Hmm.
but yet still you won't even come to my wedding, and I'm
Yeah.
getting married
Yeah.
just because he's not baptized or he never got
Baptized. Yeah.
baptized.
Mhm.
Like, this is the hypocrisy here, and it's
Yeah.
not
Double
just in
standard.
my family. It's in a lot of people's families are like that. A lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of them. And so then, you know what I said? I said, you know what? I said, look, I wasn't even about to ask y'all, can y'all come? Even though I felt hurtful, man. One thing about me, I'm gonna clap back with something. I said, you know what? I wasn't even really going to ask y'all to come. I said, I already know y'all are not going to be able to come, even though it hurt me to say that. But I was like, you know what? I already know that y'all are not going to come.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then, ended up having my wedding and everything like that. Everything went smooth, but it was bad though. You know what I'm saying? It was bad because what am I supposed to tell my guests? This puts a lot of pressure on me and my
Yeah.
family. So what happened was my brother and my sister, they participated in the wedding. My aunt, the one that I was going off about, I think with you on the phone, she ended up feeling, because what I'm saying, she ended up feeling it for my mom at the time because she was his fellowship also too. So I mean, the crazy thing about it is my another aunt, one of my dad's sisters, she's a Jehovah's Witness. She went to my wedding.
Mhm.
She went there and sat right in the church.
Yeah.
Didn't have no issues. Don't
Mhm.
waste you sitting in the church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then, but it wasn't really about that. She said, no, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be there.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I said, you gonna come? I said, look, I don't want to impose, cause I mean, I still send out invitations. My parents got an invitation. Everybody got an invitation.
Yeah.
I already know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But to be fair, every parent has hopes for their kids, and he probably
Mm-hmm.
hoped that you was going to marry you a nice JW. You was going to live a JW life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: difference between JW and anybody else. JW parents, they're dictated by someone else they would never meet. Now, regular parents, they want what's best for their kids, not dictated by shouldn't be dictated by anybody else. You see what I'm saying? His thing is, you're not living up to the way that if it's like somebody else tell me how my kids should be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all for that, these people that they're never gonna meet, I'm gonna miss this once in a lifetime opportunity to see my son getting married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could assume he had high hopes that you would marry you a JW. You walk down the aisle, y'all be some good witnesses. My son, I'm passing out legacy of another witness son. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just crazy that and even if sometimes your kids don't go the way you want to, as long as they're not hurting themselves, it should be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now your kids are not gonna do everything you want them to do. But as long as they're not hurting nobody, it shouldn't be to the point where I'm not gonna ever talk to you no more. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
this last segment after this wedding, that kind of wraps up my story like that. Let's talk about a little bit about spirituality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe we could spend about. You think we'll be good for about like 30 more minutes and talk about how this happened and everything like that.
Shoot.
It's up
Damn.
to you now.
Actually,
If
yeah.
we,
well, like,
if you
yeah.
want
We
to get
probably
on,
gotta.
is that what? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
We probably got to do like another one because
Yeah.
yeah, my wife is giving me a call. She's not even right here right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mine says
Yeah.
she's closing her tab.
Yeah. So yeah, we could just you can end it right there, and then next week we could do your spirituality part. I think that yeah, I think we could do it next week
Yeah,
or whenever
yeah,
you have free time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Next, yeah.
cause
When I have free time, maybe perhaps we can do a I don't know what your schedule looks like on Fridays. I'm not sure, but you probably be having to go to
yeah.
bed on Fridays
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get up in
yeah.
the
I got,
morning.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
bedtime. I'm getting old, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting
yeah.
old.
I hear that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
perhaps maybe the week after next. The reason being is because one of my friends who was my best man at my wedding,
Yeah.
was supposed to be his girls throwing him a surprise birthday party. But it's just so much going on, man, with these
Yeah,
stories, man. That's why you got to bust it up into
yeah,
three
yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
happy we
lot.
was able
Yeah,
to get done with the first one because, man, look, I am so thankful to be able to do this, man. Like you just
yeah,
don't know, like it's so hard trying to do it on your channel because, like, sometimes, like, you know people ask you the right questions, being able to talk to somebody about something is kind of different
mm-hmm.
for me. I can't just get up.
Yeah,
I have to write a script,
yeah.
everything, so
Talking
I
to the
don't leave
screen.
nothing out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we schedule. We'll get together. We'll figure something out. It could be week after next. Yeah. Normally, shoot. I said Sunday. Like today, I was off today, but yeah, Sunday's really
Yeah.
only days I have. You know what I'm saying? But we'll touch bases, get something together.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But all
Yeah.
right then, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just I'm gonna close out, but y'all stay tuned because how I came start studying religion is it's pretty awesome, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Pretty,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I can't wait to tackle that.
Oh yeah. We go into more deeper into what comedic kinetic what is it, comedic science.
Comedic ascension, so to
Yeah,
say.
comedic ascension. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not my religion, but I mean, you brought it up, but I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
we'll, we'll, we'll
Yeah,
deal with it. We'll
yeah.
deal with
Or
it.
or Egyptology.
Yeah, Egyptology.
Yeah. All right. All right,
Oh
man. I want to
man.
thank y'all for watching, man. Y'all have y'all a good one. And thank you, Marvin. Yeah, we'll get back together and be on here,
Yeah.
man. We're gonna get it in. We're gonna go deep. Yep.
All right then.
All right, man. You have a good, man.